Welcome to our explainer. Today, we are going to dig into a question that sounds simple, but honestly, it changes everything. Are you just feeding your body, or are you actually fueling it? The answer is the difference between just getting by and really truly thriving.
So let's just start right there. I want you to think about your last meal. Were you fueling up for performance or just kind of filling a hole? Now, they might sound like the same thing, but I promise you, getting this distinction is a total game changer for your health.
Think about it like this. Imagine you go to fill up your car, but instead of gas, you pour in cooking oil. The tank is full, right? The little gauge on the dashboard says F, but that engine, it's not going anywhere. Well, our bodies work on pretty much the same principle. A full stomach does not equal a well-fueled system.
Okay, so let's get down to it. To really get what it means to fuel your body, we have to pull apart the what from the how, and that starts with defining our terms.
First up, the what. This is a nutrient. A nutrient is just a single individual chemical compound. So think of it like one single Lego brick, a molecule of vitamin C, or a specific protein. These are the literal physical parts our body uses to build and repair itself. And these little building blocks, they come in two main sizes. You've got your macronutrients. Those are the big ones we need a lot of for energy, carbs, proteins, and fats. Then you have your micronutrients, which we only need in tiny amounts, but they're just as critical. Vitamins, minerals. But the most important word here, essential. That means our body cannot make it. We have to get it from our food. No other way.
Now, let's look at the other side of this coin, nutrition. So if nutrients are the Lego bricks, then nutrition is the whole project. It's the blueprint, it's the person building it, it's the entire construction site. It's the whole system of how your body takes in those nutrients, absorbs them, and actually puts them to work. It is the full journey, from your plate all the way into your cells.
This chart really lays it out. See? A nutrient is that one specific thing. Something you can measure in milligrams on a label. But nutrition, that's the whole system, the quality of your entire diet. So to go back to our analogies, the nutrient is the brick, but nutrition is the engine that actually uses the fuel. It's the big picture.
So, who cares, right? Why do we have to split hairs about this? Well, because misunderstanding this has massive, and I mean massive, real-world consequences for people's health all over the planet. This is not just about words, it's about our actual well-being.
Let's just zoom out for a second and get a global perspective. When we talk about world hunger, we usually think of people not having enough food, period. But it's way more complicated than that. This number right here, 9%, that's the chunk of the global population considered undernourished. And what that really means might actually surprise you.
That 9% doesn't just mean a lack of calories. It represents a deep, profound lack of essential nutrients. And this is the great paradox of the modern world. It is entirely possible for people to eat until they're full, but their bodies are literally starving for the actual building blocks they need to work right.
Don't for a second think this is just a problem over there. Even in wealthy countries with supermarkets that are just overflowing with food, deficiencies in really key nutrients like iron or vitamin D are shockingly common. It's absolute proof that having access to food and having access to good nutrition are two totally different things.
And then there's this, the other side of that coin. When our diet is packed with calories but poor in actual nutrients, we see this frightening climb in chronic conditions. This isn't about not having enough. It's about a total failure in our overall nutrition strategy.
All right, so what do we do about it? Well, it takes a fundamental shift in how we think about food. We've got to move away from just obsessing over labels and start building a healthier lifestyle.
A mindset that's purely focused on nutrients can actually be a trap. It's the kind of thinking that lets us believe that, oh, this fortified junk food or this one supplement is a good enough substitute for a real whole meal. If you're just chasing the vitamin C, you completely miss out on the fiber, the antioxidants, and all the other stuff in an orange that works together as a team. It's the classic definition of missing the forest for the trees.
So you can see the two mindsets right here, side by side. The nutrient focus is all about taking things apart, zooming in on one tiny piece. But a nutrition focus is holistic. It asks much bigger questions about balance, variety, the whole diet. It's the difference between being a calorie accountant versus being an architect for your long-term health. So what does this nutrition approach actually look like in real life?
It really just comes down to three pretty simple ideas. First, think about the source. Are your nutrients coming from whole foods or from heavily processed stuff? Second, find balance. Make sure you're getting a variety of foods. And third, think long-term. You have to remember that what you eat today is literally building the body you're going to live in tomorrow.
All right, let's bring it all home. We've defined the terms, we've seen why they matter so much. Now let's talk about the big takeaway, the thing that will put you on the path to not just surviving, but truly thriving.
So if you remember anything, remember this. Nutrients are the what. They're the individual building blocks. Nutrition is the how and why. It's your entire strategy. This means good health isn't about counting every single part. It's about building healthy, long-term patterns.
Because when you get your nutrition right, I mean really right, the benefits are just incredible. And we're talking about so much more than just avoiding getting sick. We're talking about empowering your body with clean energy, building a rock-solid immune system, and even boosting your mental health and clarity.
And that brings us right back to where we started. But now, with a totally new understanding. The choice really is yours. Are you just going to keep on eating, or are you ready to start thriving?